Hey, all of my friends from the CPWA Manitoba chapter of Paving Conference. How are you? Well, I'm back. You're back. We're all back home, going back into our regular lives. And so I just wanted to send you this video as maybe a little bit of a reminder. Look, there's no doubt that the work that you do is important. There's no doubt that all great societies built that society on its infrastructure. And in your case, and in the historical case, on roads. We know that the work that you do has generational impact. Now, it doesn't matter if John Q. Public doesn't know about what you do. It doesn't matter if the guy who's sitting down watching Hockey Night in Canada doesn't know about what you do. That doesn't make it any less important. You know, and I know, that it's incredibly critical. And no matter the techniques that you use, no matter the process that you use, no matter the new and innovative ways that we maximize resources and sustainability and recycle and all that stuff that you guys talked about, that I have no clue on. Ultimately, it's going to come down to leadership. And if you, whether you work with a crew, a department, whether you're on the public side or the private side, if you can't get people to align around a common vision of the importance of what you do, it's going to be highly unlikely that you're going to get the resources that you need, the support that you need, and highly unlikely that you're going to be able to move your agenda forward. And what does it take? Leadership. And leadership has to happen within all levels. And so I just wanted to send you this video to remind you a little bit about what we talked about. First, we did talk about alignment and those arrows getting in the same direction. We talked about people understanding the goal, their role, and what winning looks like. We talked about trust, and that trust was the key in these changing times. That the way to get somebody to follow is to build a trusting relationship with them. And that if I trust you, I'll give you permission to lead me. And whether that's with your direct reports, or whether that's other stakeholders in the dynamic that are necessary to get done all the things you want and need to get done. It's about building those trusting relationships. Then we talked about systems. And at a highly technical conference, I tried to take leadership and people management and give you some highly technical ways that you could lead. Specifically, I talked about delegation and that delegation matrix, taking all the things that somebody does and breaking them into those 4 levels of authority. Ask and recommend, act and report immediately, act and report periodically, act on own. And then all of that was based on proficiency. Ask and recommend, low proficiency. Act and report immediately, some proficiency. Act and report periodically, good proficiency. Act on own, mastery. And that based on their capabilities, you were either there when you needed to be and for them, or when you didn't, you were away, as not to micromanage them. And then finally, we talked about pride. That pride development was an important aspect of leadership today. And that you could intentionally and proactively develop, cultivate, and deploy pride. How were you going to do that? You were going to talk more about the why of the work than the how of the work. That you were going to make sure that people understood that what they did had value and meaning and importance and made a significant difference in the community. The why. But in addition to that, you were going to make sure that you articulated that you were any good at that important work. See, it's not enough just to say that, hey, everybody, our work's important. You then have to be able to show how you're good at the important work. And then finally, drawing a direct line between that individual and how they contribute to that great work that is being done. That when you can do that, when they can see themselves and how they contribute to that greater good, that bigger picture, then they take personal pride. So all this video is just do this, just some reminders. What if everybody of us in that room, all 200 or whatever of us in the room, even the guys who are on their way to the Bonspiel in their curling outfits, right? Even those guys. If all of us just picked out one thing and decided to do it a little bit better, well, do you think that Winnipeg, do you think that broader Manitoba, do you think the country, do you think we would be better? I think so. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If you want tomorrow to be better than it was yesterday, then something's going to have to, that's right, change. So are you willing to pick out one thing and try to be a little bit better at it? On behalf of my wife and I and the rest of our team, we thank you for your hard work. We thank you for your dedication. We thank you for your early mornings, late nights. We thank you for the pride that you do take in your work. And we thank you for the generational impact that you make as professionals. If we can ever help you in any way, we'll be happy to. I'm going to be in Toronto for the APWA International Congress. I hope you'll be there too. And we look forward to hearing all the great things that you do there, both in Winnipeg and throughout Manitoba. Take care, everybody.